Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So just finished recording my One Piece video. So before we dive into the Akane-Banashi reactions, finally, just kind of a quick TLDR for what to expect hitting the channel today, because I think plans have semi-changed a little bit since the channel update last week. So like I mentioned, a One Piece review video is dropping today. Along with that, I'm going to start my reactions to Akane-Banashi today as well. The plan is to try to at least get 5 chapters, react to at least 5 chapters of this series today, and then catch up on the rest in the next couple of weeks, because I think it's at 20 chapters right now, so hopefully if I do about 5 a week, I should be caught up by the end of July and current with the series by then. I'm also not going to do it as just one long stream. I'm going to split it up into each separate chapter one, just because I think that makes it a little bit easier to consume, and hopefully that'll help me with the algorithm. And with regards to the algorithm, I'm going to mention this at the start of the video. If you do like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, as it does help me out a lot. I'd really like to start getting my subscriber count up again. But yeah, apart from that, also expect a Yona video to drop sometime tonight as well. And then one last thing before we get into the story proper. You will probably hear some kind of noise in the background whenever I am not speaking, whether there's a lull. I do have a fan running because it has been intensely hot these past few weeks, and without it I would absolutely just melt. So if you're wondering what the noise is, that's what it is. I've done a couple of test videos and things, and it hasn't drowned out my voice whenever I'm talking, or hasn't like cut through or interrupted it. So yeah, it shouldn't be too noticeable unless, like I said, there's a silence or noise. So in case you're wondering what it was, that's what it is. So without further ado, let us get into Akane-Banashi. I've heard a lot of good things about this series. A lot of good friends, mutuals, and even my brother have recommended it to me as being something I'd love. So super high expectations. So let's get into it. So we pick up with, I always loved watching my dad's stories from behind the sliding door. And you see this guy just sitting on, on a little mat with a little Rakugo fan, some books spread out around him, as someone's watching with a from an eye from behind a closed door. And you have Akane-Banashi, story by Yuki Suwanaga, art by Takamasa Moe, translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer Aaron. And you see, so the job starts tomorrow, huh? And you see sign Rakugo Cafe. Well, that's a predicament. Got no toolbox, you see. You're joking, right? Just because you haven't had any carpentry jobs lately doesn't mean you should eat your toolbox. And you see Shinta Arakawa, who's the father mentioned at the beginning, doing the Rakugo. He goes, "Don't be silly, that's not edible." It's like, of course it's not, it was a joke! And you see there's like a sparse smattering of people in the crowd watching this, and you see this old lady in the background of cupping her chin watching this with kind of like a sad expression on her face. Jeff, knowing you, it's probably at the pawn shop. Jeff, It's like, too stiff, you're too uptight, Shin-chan. It's like, I'm too stiff? And you see the old lady who's moderating and going, "You're putting too much stress on everything." He's like, "I see what you mean." It's like, now I know you've got that test coming up, and your daughter's growing fast. So I understand why you're so, you should be more, and then, yeah. It's like, right? Good luck. It's like, thanks for the advice. And you see a lot in him, don't you? And you see a photographer nearby, and he's like, "I'll be honest, he doesn't impress me. He doesn't seem like much." And the old lady goes, "Well, this wasn't his best performance by any means." It's like, "Then why?" She goes, "I've seen him at his very best. He wasn't meant to struggle in a little place like this. He's too good for that." And you see something like just checking out his little payment fee for it. He's like, "Hey, 8 out of the 30 seats were filled. Subtract the rental fee and you see a ver. as you see his phone ringing with Mitsue Elementary. Do you have Akane's school? It's like, Mitsue Elementary School. Do you have a what? How dare you speak to us like that? And you hear, if you just listen. It's like, what is there to listen to, aside from my poor son's weeping? And you see the smug-looking chubby kid just putting on a facade of crying with a whoa, and his angry Karen-like mother screaming. And you see, I assume the teacher trying to placate them, but oh, ma'am, please. And you have this little tomboyish-looking girl huffing out with a breath of, It's like, don't you feel sorry at all for what you've done? She goes, clearly you're not listening to me. Maybe a demonstration will help. Watch this. And she kind of gets down and sits down. It's like, watch what? And she goes, it all began during Japanese class in 5th period. We were presenting essays, each one about a person we respect. It's like, someone I respect by Akane Osaki in 5th grade, class 3. I respect my dad. My dad is a Rakugoka, a Rakugo performer. He performs really fun and lively stories. And she's like swapping back and forth between the characters, like, you respect him? Haha, dork. It's like, my mom says your dad is a deadbeat. You actually respect him? It's like, what do you mean deadbeat? It's like, it means he's a bad father who doesn't have a real job. It's like, what? It's like, wow, I mean, yes, it happened exactly like that. And you see the teacher just feel like talking to the mother who's just dead silent. As the kid's like, uh-oh. And she's like, but that doesn't give you the right to make him cry. And she goes, you two keep acting like innocent victims, but he's the one who started the fight in the first place. And she goes, so stop running your mouth, you boa. And you see father coming by and clamping her mouth shut. He goes, knock it off. It's like, buy you beer. So I'm sorry about this, Mr. Yanagiya. Once again, I apologize for Akane's bad behavior. You're just bowing to the teacher and the other parent. It's like, ma'am, I'm sorry for what my daughter's done to your son. Do you have a move? She's trying to, like, get free. It's like, blah. It's like, stop it, Dad. These jerks are... And he's like, jerks? It's like, I don't want you using language like that, no matter the reason. You know better than this, Akane. And the mother was like, well, I'm glad you're reasonable, unlike your daughter. Mr. Yanagiya, or see the father going, Mr. Yanagiya explained the situation to me. I understand that both you and your son have much to say about me. We both have a long way to go in being parents who aren't an embarrassment to our kids. That was some good shade. That was some good shade. I love that. Yeah, but with that said, let's go Akane. As he's going, it's just like, it's huffing out of breath. Jeff, yummy! Jeff, eat it quickly, Akane. It's gonna melt. And you see him sitting on a bench outside. She's like, I'm sorry. It's like, it's alright. Just be more careful when picking your battles. It's like, no, not that. I fought back against you because I wanted to tell everyone how great you are, Dad. Instead, all I did was make you upset. He just smiles and pats her on the head and goes, dummy, you're way too young to be worrying about my feelings. And you see later that night as he's holding her hand, taking her shopping, he goes, okay, so there are 3 ranks of Rakugoka. First, there's the Zenza, the opener. Then the Futatsume, the 2nd rank. And lastly, the Shinuchi, the headliner. It's like, yeah, you told me that before. You're a Futatsume, right, Dad? It's like, did I? How did you remember that? It's like, anyway, there's a Shinuchi test coming up. I need to pass it in order to be a Shinuchi. If I do, my take gets big. I get lots of money. He goes, and then nobody can say bad things about me anymore. It's like, so you don't have to worry. Just be proud like usual. And you see, as this like entire conversation was going on, they went shopping, went back home, you're doing dinner prep, and he's cooking up a meal. And as you can see, you don't have to worry. Just be proud like usual as he ruffles her hair. He goes, alright, I've got to practice now. Get started on your homework, Akane. She goes, I will. It's like, yeah, right. He goes into his room, closes the door. And you see, he goes, I need to make Shinuchi. If I don't, if I can't. And he's got signs like hung up on the doors behind him saying, Shinichi promotion, respectable father, no more deadbeat, take on Rakugo. And he's just got like a pile of books right next to his cushion. And here's a thump outside, which I assume is his daughter sitting outside waiting to listen. And so he turns on the light and goes and takes a seat under the cushion and goes, Alright, let's start. How about a quick refresher first? Hey Yoda! Yoda! Heya! And you see, oh wow, she is pissed. Get a life, lady. Connie and my idiot Toru have done it again. And you see this woman with this coat, short pixie cut, walking in going, I'm home, with a click. And you see Akane just sitting, kneeling outside her father's study, just looking absolutely riveted. And I think she's kind of like mouthing along with whatever he's saying. What are you saying? It's like, it's just Dad, alone in his study. But inside the room, I see 3 men. And you see her dad pretend like tough guys is like rolling up his sleeve. And you see like these images of like these 3 tough guys behind him. One looking confused, kind of brushing his hair, another angry looking one. It's like with each shift in his direction, his expression, voice, and way of speaking changes instantly. There's the mean-spirited one, the touchy one, and the carefree one. All these people pop out of him. You wouldn't believe it's just one person talking. There are 3 men in there having a chat. It's incredible. She just goes, you can see things that aren't even there. It's like magic. And you see him just doing the pose, like, as he's, I can't even do how he's doing. He's like, oh, as he's holding something, he's like, how is he able to do these things? How could I learn to do them? And you see the mother going, hello, mom's home. And Akane just not paying attention, just completely riveted by her father. It's like, ah, geez, I'm surrounded by Rakugo fanatics. Well, I can't blame them. It's coming up next week. And you see Arakawa School, Shinichi promotion test. And you have Ikki, Ichinokura, Ichien, Shinta, and Shoin. And you see, wow, as you have this big stage all set up. It's like, Mom, look at all these people. There's so many. It's like, all right, calm down. Okay, oh, that's all right. It's a child's job to be lovely. Ha ha ha. You have Master Shiguma. You have Shiguma Arakawa. He goes, it's good to finally see you again, Misaki. And the mother bows and goes, yes, I know it's been a while. Thank you for watching over my husband. He goes, oh, stop, I've done nothing. It's like, how quickly time flies, doesn't it? Hard to believe that Shinta started training under me a whole... And Akane's like, Master, where's my dad? And, what's the mother's name again? Misaki goes, hey! He's like, oh, he's like, he's busy now, leave him be. And you see the Arakawa School Shinichi promotion test. Here the audience and masters judge the performances of each contestant. The results are tallied, and only those whose talent is recognized are promoted to Shinichi. The chief judge this year is Master Shiguma, senior fellow at the school. Jeff, that Shiguma idiot's here too. And you see one of the greatest Rakugoka of his generation, and you see this grumpy, bitter-looking old man. You have Isho Arakawa, goes, well, that puts me in a foul mood. And you see the father just nervously just sucking on a cigarette. He goes, but so what? How much time I've spent working for this day? I need to trust in my own art, like always. But what if I screw up? God damn. Yeah, they'll call me a deadbeat again. Kane's classmates will ridicule her because of me. It'll mean more pressure on Misaki to provide. Even Akane might give up on me. And he goes, damn it. He goes, what am I, stupid? He kind of slaps his face. Goes, why am I beating myself up before it even starts? And I just have to do it. There's no other way for me to move forward. And you have the announcer going, and now let's begin. We're about to witness the Arakawa School Shinichi promotion test. The masters of the Arakawa School and everyone in attendance today are the judges. This will be a battle among brothers to see who becomes the new Rakugo Shinichi. Let's bring out our contestants now. Here's our first performer. You see Shinta just kind of slowly making his way out. The guys are like, yay! She's just clapping away. And you have, my name is Shinta Arakawa. Oh, and you just see like all these eyeballs just focusing in on him, looking almost like what was it? I want to say it wasn't greed. Was it wrath? No, it wasn't wrath either. But from FMA, like the Shadow Demon, whatever the hell his name was, I cannot remember for the life of me right now. Was it Pride? It was either Pride or Wrath, one or the other, but the one that was like all multiple eyes. You could just see the same kind of effect here. And it's just super impactful. You have a, whoa, it's not like a typical event. The mood is heavy and cold. Worst of all is the way they're staring at me, judging critically. You have, here we are on a sunny spring day. So I should thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to attend this very tasteless trial. I've got to be honest with you. And he's thinking to himself, was it just me? Or was that a weak reaction? He's like, your vote could change my life, ladies and gentlemen. He's like, idiot, what are you thinking? It almost makes me feel like a politician. You have the Makura and Rakugo as a prelude to the Hondai or main story. Yeah, in that case, maybe I should offer a campaign promise or two. He goes, just focus on the Makura. And you see, what was it? Old man Isho just glaring at him. And he just kind of like, with the stars, but I'm just a Rakugoka, of course. My only talent is running my mouth about whatever comes to mind. And you have the other one. Oh, God, I'm going to have to go back and forth on these names, so just bear with me. Shiguma. Yes, Shiguma's going, he's rushing, this isn't a good start. You have on second thought, that does sound like a politician. He's thinking, uh-oh, it didn't get as much of a reaction as I thought. Did I bite off more than I could chew? What do I do now? Oh man, this is bad. I'm failing. You hear, Hachu! And he just stops. Yeah, that voice. It's like, huh? Kane's mimicking me? It's like, I knew she was spying on my... And then he flashes back to, I knew she was spying on me practicing, but copying me? Rakugo was not that easy. And you have, was it Misaki? Yamasaki. Going, but she's doing it. It's like earlier today too. It's like, I'm no expert, but she seems pretty good at it. She might be more suited to it than you, Toru. It's like, that's not good enough for me. If even Akane gives up on me, I'm lost. It's like, if that's what you're worried about, then reach Shinichi already. It's like, you make it sound so simple. It's like, it should be. This is for Akane. It's like, for Akane? It's like, don't you get it? Akane is a daddy's girl. Of course she wants to brag about you. And you see the little assignment she had of paper, someone I respect. It's like, you can whine and be weak around me, but in front of Akane, you need to be her cool, capable dad. And you see that his voice changes. He goes, it's a real cold one today, a nasty chill. Cold's not all bad. Nothing tastes better than hot sake when it's freezing out. And you have, God, I'm going to have to add like a little notepad with their names. Shiguma going, what's this? As Shinta continues, makes you feel so good you have another cup, then another. Next thing you know, it's flowing like water and life's a dream. It's like the way he's talking. His entire demeanor just changed. It's like, and this, of course, is a recipe for disaster. And you have a, wake up, dear, wake up. Aren't you going to the shore? Oh, I knew you should have had so much last night. Come on, get up now. He's like, what do you want? The shore. Why should I go there? So you promised you would last night. And you see he's moved from the Makura to the actual performance. And you see Shibahama. You see Katsugoro is a skilled fisherman who struggles with alcohol and debts. In this heartwarming tale of the Akane-Banashi genre, he finds a coin purse on the beach in Shiba, which helps him regain his talent for business. And you hear him going, just don't get into any fights down at the shore, dear. Well, he's finally gone off to work. That's a relief. Thank goodness. And he does a dun 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 dun. It's like, huh? What is it? It's like, I'm back. Hurry, open up. It's like, dear, why are you back? And you see him just kind of pretending like he's reaching into his jacket. He's like, what, wifey, look behind me. Is anyone following me? And it's like, he cut out the scene where Katsugoro goes to the beach and finds the purse. That's fine, of course. Every Rakugoka adds his own personal twist to the classic stories. As long as the broad strokes are right, you can change the characters, even the ending. It's all part of the creative process. However, Through the narration, we're given a glimpse at the beach of Shiba as Katsugoro travels to the shore. That's the main attraction of the Shibahama story. I mean, how can you cut out the Shiba scene in Shibahama? It's like, hold on, I need to zoom in a little bit here. It's like a sweet bun without the filling. I mean, if that's your thing. I see one of the other judges going, he looks irritated. It's the exact sort of approach that he hates. But I understand the temptation. Yes, he sacrificed one of the best scenes for showing off. But by giving up the chance to describe the scenery, he's chosen to go all in on the characters. Oh man, the art in this is just phenomenal. You see like the little stage Shinta is in the middle, and you see like the actual like shadows of the performance like right next to him on the sides. Again, like I cannot do it justice, like trying to describe like the art style and everything, so you just have to read it, but really, really loving the effect and the way it's playing out. And you see, God, I need to really put a little notepad. Shiguma going. Shinta's strength is his acting. His expressions, hand movements, and glances bring out the emotions of the characters, all of which gives his words convincing weight. Given Shinta's technical skill, he would certainly do well if he described the sights of Shibahama. Instead, he discarded that opportunity, dedicating himself entirely to the characters, which is his forte, and pulled the audience into the story. He's so deadly serious that he often overburdens himself and doesn't make the most of his strengths. But not this time. The depiction of the wife in this story, though, and you see Akane going, "It's Mom! Dad's playing Mom!" And you see Akane, Masaki, are you watching? Since I started training under Master Shiguma, I've been immersing myself in Rakugo for 13 years. My successes have been frighteningly few, and I'm lucky to make peanuts. Despite all that, Masaki never once told me to quit doing Rakugo. Akane loves me despite who I am. I want to repay their love and support. As a father, Toru Asaki, and as Shinta Arakawa, the Rakugoka, I've poured all of the experience I've gained as an artist and as a person into this. This is the day I become a Shinichi." And you see a ram and a boom, and there's just audience is just clapping and giving him a little bit of an ovation. Shivakani is going, "Wow!" as you hear the audience's appreciation. "That's so cool!" And you see the announcer going, "Thank you all for your patience. We finished tallying. Now let's announce the results." And Masaki being like, "You did it, right? I know you did it. Tell me you did it." She said, "Be quiet, Mom." It's like, "To do the honors, here is Master Isho Arakawa." And the old grumpy face coming up, tapping the mic and be like, "It's on, right? First of all, I'd like to extend my thanks to all of you for coming and giving us so much of your time today. It's been ages since I've seen younger folks in action like this. It was quite an eye-opener. But you don't need me to talk your ear off. Let's get right to the results. Every person you saw perform today is hereby expelled from the school." And you see just dead silence. And the announcer's like, "Oh, very good joke, Master." And he goes, "I want to apologize to every last person here for the absolute travesty you've just been forced to witness." The announcer's like, "Sir?" It's like, "It makes you wonder what they've been doing for the last decade." You have the audience being like, Is this real?" You have even Shiguma going, "What?" You have a murmur. It's like, "Not that there's any point to asking them. They were lost causes from the start. Well, that's all I have to say. Good night." You have, "Wait, Master!" And Akane's like, "Hey, what just happened? What does expelled mean? Tell me, Mom." It's like, "Mom!" And Masaki's just completely taken aback and shocked by this. She's like, "Toru." It's like, "What was the meaning of that?" And you see days later, the participants in the Shinichi promotion test, Shinta, Ikki, Shoen, Ichinokura, and Ichien Arakawa, were all officially expelled. And you hear a drip, drip. It's like, "Expelled? Shinta is my pupil. You can't just..." Sounds like I did you a favor. It's like, "What?" It's like the reason for their expulsion was never made clear. And you have Ishin, Isho, going, "Whatever that was, it was not Shibahama." You have, "Is this real?" It's like, "Shinta, like, what does it mean? It's a joke, right? Right?" You have, on that day, the Rakugo Shinta Arakawa died. But this story doesn't end there. And you see a snip, as you see a grown-up Akane just kind of closing the Rakugo fan in her hand. In fact, that day was only the beginning of my story. So you have Isho Arakawa's solo performance. Oh, alright. As a pilot episode, I guess pilot chapter of a story goes, that was pretty close to being exceptional. Like, the fact that I was tearing up at, when Shinta was having his moments of, self-doubt, in the dressing room, where he's having, self-doubt, self-affirmation issues, where he's doubting his skills, thinking, what happens if I screw up? What happens if I don't make it? Everyone's trust in me will be, kind of let down. The fact that it's managed to make it so impactful, despite knowing the characters for only less, half a chapter, I think speaks to how well this first chapter has characterized, Shinta and his aspirations and his dreams, and how well it's drawn you into them. So, I don't know, I love the relationship between him and Akane, and just, the little touches of, her being, enraptured by her dad's performance, sitting outside on her knees, going along with the motions, imitating him. All those little touches and flourishes, really helped kind of sell the relationship between them, the closeness of it, and it really helps get you more invested in them and their struggles. And I don't know, there's much more to say. Again, it's a bold move also for, the pilot to kind of focus more on Shinta and his struggles before kind of being Akane is actually kind of the main character of this, and setting this up as kind of a prologue to her story. But yeah, very, very well done. I can see why I was told, this is going to be my kind of story, the kind of the underdog working their way up through kind of, determination, tenacity, passion, things like that. So it's basically hitting almost every single mark for what I enjoy and what I look for in a story. Yes, I cannot wait to see where else this is gonna go. Again, like I said, the artwork has been exceptional so far. Cannot wait to see it. But yeah, so like I said, this video is a little bit longer than I think what the norm is going to be for the other chapters, just because it being the first chapter was, I think, 58 pages, so it's a little bit longer than what I suspect most chapter lengths will be. But like I mentioned at the beginning, I will do just the video separately, just to make it a little bit more digestible. I think it'll be a little bit easier for me with regards to the algorithm. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to do my best to kind of change up my voices and things like that, to kind of help sell the Rakugo aspect element of the story. So bear with me as I'm kind of trying to figure out how best to go around doing that. As I also mentioned at the start of this video, if you do like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help me out a lot. Like I said, expect One Piece and then a couple of Akane-Banashi videos to drop today. And then depending on time, hopefully if I get around to it, you'll want to read through as well. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.